Hello, and welcome to the pridelands of Lioness Ink Insight, a den for honest conversations about creativity, identity, the beautifully chaotic experience of being human, and the occasional feral moment, because sometimes that's the most truthful part. I'm your host, Angelia N. Bailey, author, graphic designer, mom, emotional gremlin with a purpose, and someone who has a lot of thoughts about, well, everything. Thanks for stepping into the den with me. Grab a drink, get comfortable, and welcome to the Pride.
Follow me if you were here, right? I don't need much, I just need time.
Who here has ever listened to a song and felt like it was made for you or your situation? Like it understood something you didn't even have words for yet? Well, today's conversation is about music as a connection, a moment, a shared experience between artist and listener that exists in real time and then somehow stays with you long after the song ends. I'm sitting down with musician and artist Ida Gratte, whose relationship with music goes far beyond streams, charts, or numbers. What drew me to Ida isn't just her sound, it's the way she talks about people, the way she describes locking eyes with someone in a crowd and feeling that moment land between them. So today we're talking about why she creates, what happens in those moments on stage, and why for her it was never about fame. We're also diving into something really special. Ida is releasing her documentary on April 18th, and you, my lovely Lioness Ink Insight listeners, get an exclusive story behind that, what it means for her to put her life into words, and what she hopes people take from it. Like most of the episodes here on Lioness Ink Insight, this is an interview. It's a real open and honest discussion between the artist and the viewer. Before we dive in, Ida, do you want to say hi to the listeners and tell them anything else about yourself or your work, who you are in your personal life outside of being a musician?
Yeah. Hi, Angelia, and hey, everyone who's listening. I'm super happy to be a part of this podcast. And yeah, my name is Ida Gratte. I know that's kind of hard to say for English speaking people, but IDA GRATTE. And I'm from a small town in south of Sweden called Nybro. And I moved up to Stockholm some years ago. I'm an indie artist, musician. Yeah, I live on the passion for music. And when I don't do music, I'm a plant mom and I love to go to secondhand shops, go out, and now it's finally start to become spring here. I love to be out in the nature and to swim. I mean, during summer, I'm mostly in the water. If I'm not on stage, you find me in the ocean or in the sea somewhere. So yeah, I just love like people who are passionate for something and to that dares to live their life, a life where they can be passionate, like yeah, doing what they love.
Yeah, absolutely. That's amazing. Can you tell me, Ida, a little bit about what made you want to have this conversation?
Yeah, I have listened to your podcast before, and when you asked me if I wanted to be like do an episode with you, it felt so fun because I love that it's so raw and so honest. And sometimes you do stuff just to have done it, and I have promised myself to stop do that because I mean it's good to be in podcasts, it's good to be seen and to be heard, but I just don't want to do stuff just because it's nice afterwards. I really thought that you and I could have a great conversation and that your listeners are like the one who really want to hear like the true stories and not like filtered ones. So here you get me, the honest version of me.
Yep, that's Lioness Ink Insight in a capsule.
Yeah.
Um, well, for this episode with you, I do want to start with something you've said that really stuck with me, was that music for you was never about fame or money. So what is it about for you?
For me, music is freedom. Uh, it's since I was very young, I felt this freedom every time I was on stage or went into the bubble of just creating. And for me, it's been music. It doesn't have to be like maybe you're super good at like um, write like poems or um, paint. I For me, it's always been like music when I was younger and didn't write myself. It was like to be on stage and to go into a role, and I felt like very much like normal there. I felt not normal in the norms of the society, and you have to do stuff where like to be someone and to follow the rules of the norms. And for me, it's always been where I felt least like an outsider. It's been like on stage or uh, around people who also dare to like dream big, even if it doesn't have to be like the biggest dream of being on the biggest stages or like walking on the red carpet. It doesn't have to be that. It can be just
Yeah.
dare to be passionate. Oh, sorry, my English is not the best. Like to dare to be the one they want to and like stand for it. And yeah, I don't know, the ones who dare to dance, I believe, even if you're not drunk, you know. And for me, it's been like people in the music business or in the creative business is a little bit more like that, I guess.
Yeah.
So for me, doing music is like I say something and I see people from when I see people from the stage, I can see that they are feeling less alone, and then I feel less alone, and then that like magic that's happening there, that's something that I can't really describe as you hear. I'm just talking. It's so much like feelings. And sometimes I think that's the cool thing with music. I can't really describe it. You have to feel it to get it. Um, so yeah, for me, it's not about like streams and a lot of fame. I mean, it's of course it goes hand in hand sometimes. Like if a lot of people knows your music, then they can also get affected by it. But I have done it the indie way, like seeing people, meeting people on the live shows, and like then I know it's real people who listens to me, not just I don't know, AI machine somewhere that makes streams go up.
Right.
So yeah, for me, it's always been. I feel less alone when I'm on stage, and I can see that other people feel less alone in their like thoughts, and like if I'm happy, if I'm sad, if I'm angry, I can sometimes I don't even know that I am feeling a way until I sit with my guitar and I'm like, oh, this is what I needed to get out of my body. It's like a little therapy session every time I sit down with my guitar, somewhere I can be fully present and fully just let go of all the have tos.
Do you feel like music is like your safe place or where you found like where you belong?
Yeah, definitely. And it's also like, as you said in the beginning, I'm gonna release this documentary. It was a guy called Isaac Friberg who's been with me last summer, and he was following me to some of the summer tour stops and to the radio interview studio, rehearsal room, and stuff like that. He wanted to capture the moments of an indie artist. And that's the first time I actually also talk about that music has always been like my free place, but also it was a little bit like a drug for me many years. I needed that live kick to be on stage. And it wasn't, I thought I was healthy because um, I have never been like a person who do like a lot of alcohol or like drugs and stuff like that that people can come into easily in this business. But for me, it was just I worked all the time. I didn't sleep at night because I was so like up in my dream of like, oh, I'm living my dream now because I do music full time, and that has always been my the first goal I had in this like for my music was to be able to live on it. And when I did that, then it was a lot of other pressures that just came up, and you thought you had other goals. But then I I realized way too late that I needed also to have another part of my life that wasn't music. So even if music saved me when I was younger, it also like kind of um, I need to realize I am not music. That
Yeah.
like music is a big part of my life, and I want to keep it like that. But I also need to have this like days where I just take care of my plants and like go out and be in the nature again. And that's also what I said in the beginning of this episode, like, or that I just said, that if I don't get those days that where I'm not like just fully in the music, then I can't really enjoy it the way I want to. So it's
Yeah,
the
no.
first time now that I'm also going to talk about the bad sides of being a creative person and easily like distracted by like, I don't know, the creative part of me.
Oh, yeah, no, I completely understand. And I'm really glad and honored that I was able to give you a space to be able to speak about that side that you don't normally
Mhm.
put front facing for the public. Um,
Mhm. Yeah.
would you say, Ida, that there been moments where you questioned if what you were doing with music mattered?
I mean, for me, it's always been a lot of live shows. I have seen people get like affected by my music. So when I have had doubts or like, oh, people are getting, and they are doctors and they like save people's lives and I don't know, like they could be teachers or whatever, like very important jobs that we have. And I just like thought to myself, I'm just singing. But every time I had those thoughts. It didn't take long because I'm usually on stage, and there I can see that what I'm doing, it really matters. And I know what music means to me and the people that I listen to, what that have meant for me in my life, in both ups and downs. And it would be such a sad world without any culture. So
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
for sure. And
I have had doubts, but not too long because life have always been uh, I mean, maybe when the pandemic came, that really made
yeah.
my head be like, what am I doing? Because I'm just, I didn't realize how much people are at home. I wasn't at home before so much because I'm traveling a lot in my work. And then all of a sudden I just sat there and like, who am I without the music? I don't even know who I am. And then I get like, I got this burnout period, but all after that, and now when I'm slowly getting back to like my routines and everything, I also see like the little child me, like that's maybe cliche to say because everyone says that you need to find the child in you, but it's also so true because what did I do
Yeah.
before music became my whole life? Yeah, but that was like I love to swim and I love to be in the nature. I love to I don't know, use my head in other ways as well. I love to like do Sudokus or sit with crosswords because then I could be like present in something else that's not like me have to be. And yoga for me, like last 2 years, been super important because that's like something I can do in everyday life and get that little pause that makes my brain just, I don't know, reset.
Yeah, you can't
So
let
yeah.
some like one thing encapsulate your whole entire
No.
identity. So it's always
Right.
good to have other things. Like even for authors and stuff, we have to have stuff outside of that to
Right.
about who we
Yeah.
are that we can like
Yeah.
step away and breathe for a minute.
Yeah. What do you have that you like go outside of your bubble? Or do you have something that really like helps you?
Yeah, actually. So I like spending time with my kids and my nephews
Yeah.
and my niece. So we'll play video games or I'll just sit and read a book or sometimes I'll just lay there, think and listen to music and just let music play with peace and quiet around the house.
Oh, yeah. I totally get that. And like you, as you said, like with kids, it's for me as well. I don't have kids, but I have nephews, and it's so nice to just be with them because they are also
Yeah.
so present in everything they do. So you also become like not aware of time and space for a while when you're
Yeah.
just like in that moment. Yeah.
Yeah, hanging around like
Mhm.
with my nephews and my kids, it's just like I can just exist in that moment. And they don't give you any other option either. Like they want you present, they're
Right.
gonna make sure you're present with them.
Yeah, but exactly. And I think like what we're talking about now is also connecting so much to what was the bad side of music for me because of course I love the stage because I could be present, but I didn't allow myself to be fully present somewhere else because we are in this generation of like you have to have your phone on all the time and you have to be
Yeah.
like everyone should be able to like contact you all the time and it's not healthy for you. So for me maybe like for me was like I want to be on stage because then I don't have to answer my phone. No one expects me to be online when I'm like there. So for me that
Yeah.
was and that's not why I want to do music. I want to do music because I love it and to be I don't know. Yeah. I don't want to have it use it as an excuse to not be I don't know, on my phone or something. And
Yeah.
yeah, I'm so much better at that now. But when I was younger, I mean, it was so I didn't learn anything else than to be like online a lot and post a lot and I don't know. And for us who are like artists or writers and stuff, we need to be out there to make people see us as well. but
Yeah,
I
because I mean,
don't want to be fake somewhere. Yeah.
right, and if we weren't out there, then you wouldn't have those moments that you described on stage where you sit and lock eyes with someone in the crowd. That wouldn't be able to happen if they just had their face glued in their phone.
Right? Right. Yeah. And that's so cool to see people actually being present. I think that's why I like to both be on stage, but also like I have a lot of my songs is I write now I write a lot about natures and so as well. But before it was a lot about like the dates when you meet someone in the at the first before you get to know someone that much. You get so present with that person and you don't really get that time with a lot of people nowadays. So it was like the stage, the dates. I don't know how to like describe it, but and like of course like with your friends and so as well. But sometimes you I don't know. Just being older, I feel so much like better about being older. A lot of people having like, I don't know how to say it, anxiety about it, or how do you say like when you're like, oh, you don't have your youth with you anymore. And I'm not that old. I'm turning 30 this year, so I mean, but it's just it feels so. I just feel better every year because I feel like I get a little bit wiser every year as well.
Yeah.
I give a little bit less fuck about everything, and it feels nice. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I completely get that too.
Mhm.
I'll be 33 this year.
Yeah, yeah.
Right there
Oh,
with you.
we're so young. We're still. And even if we're not, it could be cool to be old as well. It's so cool to grow.
Yeah, I mean, older people have more fun. They got less
Yeah.
worries. Like, what do I have to worry about? I'm gonna go dance on a table and nobody can tell me not to.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So, in those moments that we talked about where you lock eyes with someone in the crowd and you can see in motion how the music is affecting them, can
hmm
you walk me through what that actually feels like in real time? Is there a shift in you specifically when that happens?
Yeah. I mean, because I've been on so many like small stages and peop where people don't listen as well. You know, before I did my own songs, I did a lot of songs on restaurants and like gigs like that. I started really like as the not so fun gigs, but it was like just to get to be on stage. Even then, like when I didn't have like the bigger stages or the big, I could feel when people you notice the moment when when someone who is in another world just focus on you and like uh, it hits them that they feel something and like um maybe they connect to what I'm singing and I can see it's hard to s- to describe it, but
Yeah.
at first I think I just see someone is acting in a different way that they did. Sometimes I can see people like if I see people get tears in their eyes. I have some songs on my second album that is very like deep. And nowadays when I stand more on like it's harder on the big stages. Even though I love to be on like festivals and big stages, I somehow always go back to when people ask me like what's your favorite stage? It's always like the intimate places where people are really there and like on a festival it's so easy that people like also I don't know, they are there as well, but it's maybe I have the band with me and it's more of
Yeah.
a party vibe. But when there is in team gigs, it's just me and the guitar, maybe my electric guitar, like one or two musicians, not like the full band. Then the lyrics really comes out. And on this second album, I have some songs that is about like violence, like in domestic violence. And I can see like some women in the crowds how much it means for to them that someone is talking about them on stage in art in a way that I think it's not so common, at least not in Sweden. I don't know, maybe not anywhere, but um,
No, that's pretty
that feels
common here
very
too.
cool. Yeah, and I mean it's not only them; it's always nice to see someone uh, see themselves in my lyrics. And sometimes
Yeah.
maybe I wrote it in a whole other story, and people can like make it their own story. But I'm also very direct in my lyrics. A lot of artists are so cool and they talk about like I don't know, the depth of the la 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 something. And for me, it's just like if it's a red jacket, then I'm gonna say that it's a red jacket. So they don't
Yeah.
have a
You're
lot of
very
space Yeah.
you're very authentic with your music, 100%.
So I don't know, but yeah. Sorry, I'm talking a lot of like around the questions, but you said like that moment when I
No,
see
you're fine.
someone, it's just like I really don't know how to describe it. It's something magical happening there when I see that I look them in the eye and then I try to stay there with my eyes as well because I want them to know that I notice. I want them to know that I notice them and then I think they feel even more included. Like when I sing something that is vulnerable for them, we get this little I hear you, like
Yeah,
the friend who holds your hand on your back when there's something wrong happening and that they where they can't really speak to you in a when you get a hand under the table from someone you like and they're like comforting you. I don't know if that's the
yeah.
same vibe, but I could almost feel that. But I don't know, maybe that's selfish to say as the one who actually does it on stage, but I can see that it means something for people, and that's why I like to do this.
Yeah, it's not selfish at all. I say similar things with even my writing. Like I
Yeah.
tell people all the time, my podcast, my writing, like it's my hand extended out to say I'm here with you. I'll sit with you in the dark until you're ready to come into the
Hmm.
light. Like I'm here with you in this moment.
Hmm.
Um, and now, Ida, you've described a kind of magic in their interaction between the musician and the listener, where there's
Hmm.
this almost, like you said, unspoken exchange that happens between artist and audience. So at that point, does it still feel like performing, like in that moment you're performing, or does it shift into something else entirely once that moment happens?
It always feels like when I'm on stage, I do. I mean, of course, it's a performance, but mostly I just feel like I do something that I really like the thing I love the most. So I'm not thinking about like now you have to perform. Maybe when I was younger, I thought more about that, and then you could see that in the way I was talking. I didn't know really what to say, and like became more nervous. But nowadays, I just want to give something to that. So I feel a lot of pressure when I'm on stage, like not in a bad way, in a good way. I want to say something very important to the people who's there because not a lot of people are so um, present nowadays. And I maybe get like a full hour of people's fully attention. Then I want to be able to make them have something to come home with. So I don't know if I should say like it's a good pressure and I don't think about it. I feel more like we are here together vibe, at least when I'm on a small stage where I see the people. If it's a big stage, it's more like, okay, it's hard to get the eye contact with someone on those stages because, yeah, it's you're not as close to the audience. Maybe there is like they are
It's
further
less
away.
it's
Yeah.
less intimate.
So maybe then I feel more like this is a show and I can't really just go with the flow as much as I would in a small concert. I usually don't even do like my set list before because I want to feel the room and I want to do what feels like. So it's like almost that I create the show while I'm on stage,
You want to
which
do what comes natural.
yeah. So that's maybe why it doesn't feel like a performing thing that I have been practiced before. It's just like I do what comes natural and what I think that those people who are there can get most out of, I guess.
Yeah, no, and that goes right back to what I said, that your music is
Mhm.
absolutely authentic and real,
Mm.
and I love that about it. Has
Yeah,
anyone ever
thank
came up
you.
to you and told you one of your songs meant something to them in a
Hmm.
way that completely caught you off guard?
Yeah, yes. I mean, when that happens, it's like, it's so cool when people, I mean, it's also nice when they write on Instagram or like when you like get this like private thing that you really get that they have that the song has meant something for them, but live it's so cool like to hear people daring to leave an like awful relationship or where they deserved more or maybe they like themselves a little bit more or they dare to be sexual in a way. I mean, my music is very like I wouldn't say like just feministic because it's more like free. I want people to be free in themselves. And I want to dare to talk about that women are, we also need to be able to sing about our sexuality, or like
Mhm.
we also need to be able to sing about like the hard parts and I don't know. So, but that's so cool when people are like, yeah, I mean, it's not why I do it, because I also do it just because I need to write my news. Like, I need to write for myself as well to feel like, otherwise I would go insane if I wouldn't like get these feelings out. And then it
Right.
became music for me. But yeah, when someone says that my music have helped them in such a cool way, or if I see people send me their like uh, artists, like most listened artists through the year. It's so cool because I have released two albums in Swedish and one EP, and now next one is going to be in English. So now I'm like new branching a bit with the new song that I have released now, like The Time. But before I've just released in Swedish, and even though the music is in Sweden, I have had some people that have me as their favorite artist or like top artist, even if they are in Germany or like in somewhere else in Europe. And it's so cool because they can feel stuff even though they don't even understand the lyrics. So that's
Yeah,
also a thing, like music is a language by itself. Um,
absolutely.
but yeah,
Has
yeah, it's
anyone ever
always
told
nice to
you,
hear.
has
Uh,
anyone ever told you anything that's completely surprised you? Or
um,
like made a comment about your music or like it affected me this way and you were like completely taken back or surprised by that?
um, I mean, I'm very close to my feelings. So yeah, I have heard some stuff that really got me like very emotional, like crying or stuff like that, because I feel like, can my music mean so much for someone? That's yeah, that's cool. But I don't know, surprisingly, yeah. I mean, one thing was very surprising. One time there was a girl coming up to me on the street, and she was like, "Are you Ida?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she said that she'd been following me on my YouTube, and I had made like an old song private because I thought no one was listening to it, and it didn't have a lot of streams, so I just made it private to not like have too much content there. And she was like, "I was listening to that song like almost." Like a lot, you know. And she said, and one day it was gone. Can you like repost it? And that was so cool because for me that was just not a lot of people listening, but for her maybe that was something so special. And then all of a sudden it wasn't there anymore. And that was cool to hear because it was a song about like a funeral song, and I wrote it when I was very young. So for me it was also
Oh,
like I didn't really stand by it anymore because I thought I became better at writing. But it was so cool because that meant something very important for her and made her remember someone that she had lost. So I was like, you can get it, but not like I don't know if I up it was some years ago, so I don't really remember if I like did it on private again or if I sent her any link or so, but it was just that was very cool as well.
yeah,
Something that
that's
you
still
think that doesn't matter can matter to other.
absolutely. And
And
that's a beautiful
yeah,
moment to happen too, especially to be the one experiencing it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
I haven't thought about that in years, like since it happened almost. But when you said that, I was like, yeah, that's one story. It's always fun what story comes up in your mind, but I
yeah,
guess I have a lot of those, and it's so cool that I that's why I love this job as well. It's never the same. One day is never the same. Like you go on tour and you play on different scenes and meet different people, but then some people stays and you see the same faces in the audience, and that's like so it's such a warming feeling to be like, oh, this time this person is here again, but now they bring some friends, and next time their friends bring some new friends. That's very like indie way of doing it, I think.
yeah,
Um,
I get that completely. And kind of to shift focus a little bit to the industry versus purpose aspect of music, the industry can be really focused on numbers, growth, and visibility. So,
mhm.
Ida, how do you stay rooted in connection when everything around you is pushing metrics?
Yeah, that's a question I ask myself have asked myself a lot, what is important? But I always go back to my fully focus is the live scenes. And when you do that and when you get into that, even though it's very hard to get into it, I'm very happy that I did it in the beginning of my career. Like the live music is where I get most of my income from, and that's where, so I don't have to be so afraid of AI, I think. Even though I think it's so weird that a lot of people just, it's AI everywhere nowadays and it's
Yeah.
numbers. And I don't know, I don't, I feel like all the playlists are just AI music soon and it's just listened by AI machines. So it's not even any, there's no human anywhere there. So I don't, a lot of people might be super scared now, but I just want to give a calming word to everyone who's too scared of it. I think people will be tired of this, hopefully, and be like, I want the humanity. I haven't even listened to a song that is AI made, like a full song yet, because it's not my thing to do. But and I don't want to, because even if they sing something cool that I could feel a lot of things for, it wouldn't be from a human. So
Not authentic.
wouldn't
There's
I?
no
No, I wouldn't feel less alone. I would feel more alone,
right.
I guess.
Yeah, because it's not coming from a real place. It's not coming from someone
Yeah.
experienced that. That's what makes music so beautiful. And that's where the magic comes from, is the person singing it or writing it has experienced that thing. And there's that, like you said, that connection that happens. And if AI is doing that, there's no connection. AI has no feelings. It's not about
Yeah,
hype and
yeah.
metrics. It's about how you feel in that moment.
Yeah, so maybe I should be more worried, but also since the pandemic, a lot has changed in my business already, and it's becoming more harder for musicians. I see it, and like a lot of the right-wing parties all over the world is making it harder for music to get money, even like from the, how do I say, from the state, like the countries as well. So I can see that it's been a big shifting, but I still feel like no one can take away the need of the live music.
No, not at
Uh,
all. That can't be
so
replaced.
I'm not that scared about it. I have an upcoming summer tour coming this summer, and I have a lot of gigs, and I feel happy for to be able to do this, even though it's been hard years in this industry. So
Yeah, you're about to release a
I won't, yeah, I won't focus on online. I do every time I release like an album, I do vinyls and CDs so people can actually feel it. I don't really feel like I have released something if I can't like touch it. I like to touch my
yeah.
art as well. And even if the internet would be gone tomorrow, I would still be an artist. I would still have my merch and my live things. And I understand some people might go to my like streaming platforms and be like, oh, but she's not that big. I don't care about those people anyway. I want people to listen to my music, and then after that, they can uh, judge me, or I don't know how to say, but yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
So yeah.
And then
Are you
also,
scared about like the in a like order way? I don't know how I haven't I have mostly talked about like with musicians about this, but in the
for
order
like the
way I think it's
AI.
this, yeah, I think it's the same.
Oh
You
my
want
gosh.
someone to, you want it to be a real person, right?
Yeah,
Even,
because that's a
yeah.
that's actually a very, very big topic in the writing community right now. And
Yeah.
even with authors is AI and how it's affecting everything, because there's authors out there that are having AI write entire books, and the authors are claiming it's their work and saying, I wrote this and because I prompted
Hmm.
AI to, and that's not authentic. That we don't It is such a big thing right now. There's even like AI clauses going in publishing contracts and stuff that there's no
Yeah.
AI use. And I don't understand it. Why write something using AI? Why not write from the heart? Yes, it's harder, but
Yeah.
that's the point. The things that
Yeah.
are worthwhile
Exactly.
in life are the things that are worth that have you fought for, that are
Hmm.
hard, that you put your labor into, your sweat, blood, tears. Like those are the things that are worth it, not something that you just put a prompt into AI and say, do this for me because it's easy.
Mm.
The things in life are not, the things worthwhile in life are not going to be easy.
No, exactly. And that's what we want, and that's what we feel when we like read it or listen to it. We're gonna feel if it's true emotions in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, AI can't, produce real emotions like humans can.
Yeah. And maybe like sometimes I can get scared when I realize a lot of people are listening and reading this and think like asking AI about like ChatGPT about everything they're gonna do. If someone gives them a message, they're like answering in GPT first before they like it's like you don't even know if you're talking to a machine or a human anymore.
Yeah.
And it scares me a bit that some people think that they like shouldn't like just listen to their hearts. So of course, that's what I'm mostly scared about. I'm not scared about like we don't need the the art to still be like alive, but I'm just scared a lot of people are okay with becoming machines. But also that's like
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of it. I'm just afraid for the world and the society that it's gonna be like that. But if it's becoming more and more like that, I'm just gonna like have a cottage in the woods and then I'm gonna sing for the birds. No.
I think that's great. And then,
As long as
you,
I can sing from my heart.
yeah, I'm the same way with my writing. Like, if we're gonna
Yeah.
keep going into that era, I don't want to be a part of it. I want nothing to do
No,
with it.
right? Idea of me and my in my way, I was like talking about my music a bit and to make people come to this gig. And then he uh, contacted me afterwards and he was like, I really feel like you're doing this the indie way, like the way that not a lot of people doing it today. Because a lot of people are just searching, like looking for big labels and to like, I don't know, they just see the numbers and the streams and the fame. And he saw that I was here for the passion and for the yeah, I don't know, for the that I did it a little bit my way. So he asked if he could follow me through my summer tour and like just to get a little sneak peek of my life. And it took me like half a second to say yes to that because I was like, yeah, it would be so nice to just have someone capturing that because a lot of people see me on stage and they think that it's a very like fancy life sometimes because I travel a lot and I live in hotels and I like I try to post like even not like just the like fun parts of it, but it's also like a big uh, part of my life is just to try to fix everything. I'm my own like manager and booker, and um, I have like a really like close working vibe with a girl called Agnes or named Agnes. She's the producer of the next album that's coming, and also my guitar, like electric guitarist in my band. So we were in the studio talking to her a bit. It's not just me. You follow me through the summer, but you also meet other important people in my life, like people who's been close to me. I have this talent coach. It's a coaching team in Kalmar, down in South where I'm from, and they help me a bit. So I'm not doing like fully everything alone, but it's more like they don't do everything. They just like a hand sometimes for me. And Bosse, one of the coaches that I have there, he's in it as well. And it's just so when I saw it the first time, like when Isak gave me the first draft from it, I was just crying a lot. I was like, oh my God, I could see my life in a way that I couldn't before. I haven't seen it like outside. And it's like sometimes you feel like you don't do enough and you realize how much you're doing all the time. Or I realized
Yeah.
that it's a very much like working life, but I also wouldn't change it for anything else. And now as we've been talking about before as well. Now I finally see myself living this life and a healthy one, even though it's very much about the passion and so, but like finding this balance. And it's not like I show people how to find their balance. It's more like I don't hide to talk about the hard parts as well. And on stage, of course, I want to focus on like the music and I want people to get like to know me as an artist. So here it's more like get to know me as a person maybe, and that the
Yeah.
person and an artist is the same thing. It's just like yeah, so it's very raw and I don't want to say too much either because I want it to be like yeah, it's going to be out on my YouTube channel the 18th, and we have some like I have one preview here in Stockholm and one premiere like the day before in Kalmar, where I'm from. So it feels very nice to show it to the people that really means the most to me before it goes like out there for everyone. And yeah, I think also it's a way for me to say like not really sorry, but like I always choose music before a lot of relationships, not only like love relationships. My friends and my family has been not suffering from it because they also get me in, like I know that I inspire them to be more themselves, I think. So it's like a coming, like give and take, but also like it's a way for me to say like this is me, and I'm sorry if I'm not the easiest person sometimes, but I'm promise you that I'm doing it everything my heart tells me to do. And like
It's you kind of like
uh
laying it all bare and saying, this is me, take
yeah.
it or leave it.
Yeah, a little bit like that. And also, like, it was very hard for me those years I was overworking. It started with the pandemic. I realized, like, now afterwards, I realized it was, for me, I became in my own little bubble, real, like, asking myself, what am I doing? Why am I doing it? How should I keep going? What's my next step? And that's also when I stopped being, I had, like, labels and like another artist project before where I did a lot of EDM, and a lot of the focus there was more about the numbers. And so maybe that's why I also feel so calm in the indie way, because I know how it feels to have a lot of millions of streams, and it didn't make me happier. The thing that makes me happy is when I see that someone is feeling something for me. I'd rather have 100 people that, like, or not even that, like I'd rather have 10 people that really listens to me and can talk about my music and what it means for them, than to have a million people that just listen through a playlist on me that don't even know my name. So
Yeah.
I think that's in this documentary you see you see me for and in a new way. And I don't even know if people gonna care, but I cared about like like it's not for me to show everyone that I what I'm like, that they should also follow there. It's more like I want to be a little glimpse of, you don't have to live your life in a 9 to 5 and get a lot of money and rebuild your kitchen and travel a lot just to do it. Not travel, but like to the fancy parts of the world. Just like
Yeah.
for me, it's the indie way. It's not only how I do music, it's my way of living. I buy almost everything on secondhand, or like I love to um I want to be more of a, I want to leave the earth and feel like I didn't made it worse. I don't know. And for me it's like I can do that in music, but also like how I travel, or how I want to do it a little more slower way. It doesn't matter for me if I take the train to, I don't what to say, like Berlin instead of the flight, because of course it's gonna take longer for me to sit in the train, but then I will have time to actually feel stuff that I can do art with later. And Isak is capturing a little bit of this. He was with me for a tiny bit of the summer, so it's not like he have captured my whole life, but you can get a sneak peek of who I am and what I'm doing, and hopefully that can inspire some people.
Yeah. And you mentioned that in this documentary, you open up for the first time about a period of time where you were overworking and what it took to come
Mhm.
from that. What made you feel ready to share that now?
Because I feel like myself again, and it was many years since I did. I become a little bit emotional, I realize now when I talk about it as well, but it's it's been many years of not being present, and it's not like I am all the time now, because I know it's gonna be like a work that is not like gonna be over one day, and then I'm gonna feel like I'm never gonna have to work on myself again. But now I feel like yeah, I feel
Is it kind
like
of like you're,
I can watch myself 2 years ago and realize how bad I felt then, and that's why I didn't want to tell the world back then, because I couldn't. I didn't know how to say, how to make people maybe inspire people in the right way, because now I feel like I can say something that makes someone else maybe not have to go through that, because they can maybe, I don't I don't know. But yeah. Um
no, that makes complete sense.
yeah.
It's
Um
a documentary is kind of a different kind of vulnerability than music is. Because with a song, you can shape things, choose what to say, what to leave unsaid, but the documentary is you in real time.
Yeah, I feel also a lot more grown now. I mean, I'm also more grown now because I'm older, but also like when I was younger, I saw myself like when I'm 18, I'm gonna be old. You know, like everyone when we were
Mhm.
kids. It's like when we're 18, then we're grown-ups. I feel
Yeah.
like maybe this third album for me feels like, at least now, it feels like this is me being more. I found my place where I want to be, or like what I stand for, and before, I've always been very like all or nothing, and it's good sometimes, but sometimes it's good to have the balance in everything. I was a vegetarian for many years, and I'm embarrassed to say sometimes that I'm not anymore. But it's also like I don't eat meat a lot. I don't have to be 100 0. It can be 95 5, and I can really like when I eat this fish, or I don't know, like, like for
Yeah.
it's not only that, but if I have to buy something, I really know why I do it, and I don't have to say. And it was also the same for like alcohol. I didn't drink a drop of alcohol before I was 18 because that's like the law in Sweden that you shouldn't do that. And a lot of people do that anyway, of course, because they're young and they're like, but I had this like if it's not allowed, I shouldn't. And then I just didn't do that for a while. And now I know that it's a business where it's very hard to say no to stuff because the norms is that you should party a lot and you should do drugs, and you should do this. For me, it's been like I don't want that because I feel very happy in my life, and I can be able to express myself and to be a little bit weird even without that. But now I also know that I can take a good drink on a summer day and really like enjoy it, and feel like it doesn't have to be 100% against zero.
Yeah.
You also have to live while you live, like but it doesn't mean that you have to live like everyone else or exactly the opposite, because I wanted to be a little bit rebel before. So I wanted to
Yeah.
do stuff just to make sure people knew that I was different. And
Yeah.
now
I
it's
think I
more
think
like I
everybody
know I'm
is.
different, and sometimes I'm doing the things that they do because I also like the norms sometimes, but not always. Oh my God. I think
What?
that's me in a nutshell. Do you say nutshell? We say that in Sweden. Like uh,
No, I've never heard that word.
no, no. In Sweden, we say, oh, whatever. I can say, I give a little excuse for everyone who listens to this. I know Swedish people, we learn English from a very young age, but I know I do a lot of wrong in the vocabulary and stuff like that.
No,
But I
you're
think you
fine.
get me anyway. Um,
I don't think
so,
it's any better than us when we try to learn a new language either.
yeah, I mean, it would be harder to do this in Swedish, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I don't think we would get very far. I know
I'm
zero
not.
Swedish.
No, I know. I can teach you.
That,
But not whatever. Where were we? I said like
so for the documentary, what is it? What
no.
was it like letting people see you in that more vulnerable way?
Um I become a little bit nervous now when it's so close to the release day of the documentary. So I don't really know how it's gonna feel when I do it, but I feel very proud of the documentary, how Isaac filmed it. He made it so better than I could imagine. Because this was just me saying yes to something I didn't really know what it was. And then now when I see it, it's like, it's such a thing for me to carry with me as well, to just be like, maybe just see it sometimes and remind myself why I'm doing this. If I ever in the future get like cool deals or get questions, should you do this, I could just go back to myself, is this in my brand, do I really want this, or is it just because it sounds cool? And
When when
or
someone was following you around with the camera, when he was following you around with the camera through those spaces, touring, creating, and even when you were just existing, did you ever forget the camera was there, or were you always aware you were being seen?
I mean, it was nice because it was such a small team. It was just him and the camera. I've been in bigger like TV productions or like other productions where you really know that the like you notice the little red light that is saying now we're live or so. It was not like that. We have become friends during this period of filming as well. So I think you can see that as well. Like the first interview we did in the beginning, you could see that I'm a little bit more nervous there than like in the end when we're on like the last gig that we filmed. So
Yeah.
and it's also in English, so of course it was a little bit like always a little bit more nervous when you don't speak your first language, when
Yeah.
you gonna say something very important for you. So yeah.
That makes absolute sense.
But yeah, I didn't forget that the camera was there, but I also, when I was on stage, I was fully there, like with the audience, and then I forgot that he was there as well, like capturing it. So afterwards, it's like, oh, this is actually someone just capturing me doing my life. Yeah.
It's very authentic and it gives kind of like an exclusive look into your life and who you are behind the music.
Yeah, and it also feels like it's really like a good timing with this new sound and songs that I'm doing. I'm going more like um more the first two albums I've done, I'm still very proud of them, but this is um more guitars, more live, more me in a way,
Yeah,
like and I also talk about my burnout and nature and more like the things that is very important for me in this album. I think the second album for me was a lot to talk to other people, to make them feel seen. For me, this album is more like to make myself feel seen in a way, like, and people in my, I think people's gonna notice that it feels more authentic.
more personal too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you also
I
have a
hope
new
so.
song coming out April 2nd, just before the documentary releases. Do those two pieces connect in any way, or are they separate expressions of where you are right now?
They are very much connecting. And the second single that's coming out like some weeks after the documentary is also connecting to the documentary. Like those songs are in the documentary, and you see me play them live on stage, and yeah, it's very cute the way they're like connecting to each other. And this song Time, I guess it's out now when people listen to this. When we talk, I haven't released it yet, so I'm very excited for it. But when
Mhm.
this podcast, the episode comes out, I think you can go like stream it now if you want to hear it. And then you get a glimpse of what's to come from me.
What do you
Yeah.
hope people walk away feeling or understanding from the documentary and your music?
Um, I hope that they walk away with a feeling of taking care of themselves and Mother Nature a little bit more. Because that's what I feel I have came. That's the conclusion. Is it the right word? That's the
Yeah.
conclusion I've come to. Like the more I'm in the nation, the less I do, the better I feel. So it's like a little bit like less is more vibe for me nowadays.
Yeah, that
If I
makes sense.
had one day that I could do whatever, I would just lay on a ponton, I don't know, like by the water and just watch
Yeah.
the clouds. And that's what this song is about. Like I wrote Time when I was in Brighton actually, and I was very overworked. And that was that period when I didn't feel so good. And a lot of people asked me like, what do you need? And can I help you in any way? And as always, when I sit down with my guitar, the answer just comes to me. And that's when I wrote this chorus means a lot to me. It's like, I don't need much. I just need time because that's what I needed. I needed time not to have to do stuff, to feel good, to sit in
Yeah.
my window and listen to the birds singing outside and the people laughing at the outside restaurant. I don't know how to say, like the out, yeah,
Yeah, to
to
just
make,
like breathe and reset.
yeah.
If you could go back to the version of yourself who was just starting, you're the younger you before the stage, before the audience, if you could go back in time and sit down and have a conversation with her, what would you say to her? What would you want her to understand?
If I could go back to the younger version of me, I would tell
Yes.
her to every time I feel confused about what to choose, I should just lay a hand on my chest and take a deep breath and just let that breath decide. Because I decided a lot on what sounded cool and what I thought would be the best for me. And we're all different, so it's also different answers for everyone.
Absolutely. That is beautiful. For someone listening who feels deeply connected to music, but maybe doesn't feel seen in their own life, what's one truth or piece of advice that you would offer them?
I would tell them to dare to ask people that you like, or like people that like go to the venues, go to live, don't sit at home alone and just dig into too much of like deep thoughts. I mean, it's easier said than done, but if you go out and to see like where people that is kind of like you, where they are, maybe there is a live stage somewhere. If you like a musician and want to get your songs out there, and you listen to this podcast and don't really know where should you start if you haven't been doing music your whole life and still want to like make your music heard, or so, you can see if there's any like open stages in your town, if there's any, because you can go there, you can sing your songs, but maybe you also meet like a new friend that's also having the same vision of life as you can inspire each other. If you don't have to be a musician, maybe you just like music. If you're one of those who like feel like you are having more inside of you than you get out now, I deeply recommend to give yourself the time you need. And when it's not time alone, because for me it was time alone, it's so different from different people. For me, it's like always had a lot of people around me and like being out and about. For some people, it might be the opposite. Like maybe they've been too much in their own bubble. So
Yeah.
try to find your people in your town. And if it's not, there is an online world as well that is very good for connection. Maybe you find like a Facebook group where it's I know like one Facebook group that has been very nice, like for me to have this Musikgaddies. It's like just women and non-binary in the music business, that we can talk open about everything. That feels like uh, maybe you want to find someone that is gonna master your songs, and you don't want to ask the guy, you want to have like somewhere. Find your um, group of people, and just because your like family says something, or you should do, or you should study or become like that, you're not there to please them. You're here to do your life. So maybe that's a good advice as well.
Yeah.
They're gonna get you, and if they don't get you, they don't deserve you.
That's excellent advice. We say that a lot here, like um, be around those who nurture your life and bring out the
Hmm.
best in it.
Yeah, like
So
when if you surround yourself with the people you know, that like after a night with a friend of yours, are you feeling like, wow, I became like a better version of myself? Or was it more like, I'm here because we should be, you know? Don't be
yeah,
somewhere just because you think you should. Think
yep,
about what you're doing, and your time is worth a lot.
that's beautiful advice. Well,
I don't know. I just say a lot.
yeah,
But
no,
yeah, what comes to mind.
you're very real, very honest, and I appreciate that. That's all we have for today, Ida. I want to thank you for showing up in this space the way you did today with the raw authenticity and talking about connection, presence, and what it means to be truly seen and to see others in return. Before we wrap, where can listeners find you, your music, and your upcoming documentary?
So I'm Ida Gratte on all the social medias, so you can find me everywhere. If you want to connect to me, the best way I think is Instagram, like Ida Gratte, um, IDA GRATTE.
And then
And
also, in the Substack note for this podcast, I am going to, with your permission, plug in links for your social media and where people can find your music.
yeah, perfect. I mean, I love to connect to people, and like I try to always like answer the comments. And if someone is in Stockholm, I will let you know when I have a show and come there and talk to me. Or like I'm also traveling a lot, so I could happen to be where you are one day maybe. And then I would love to meet you.
Yeah.
Mm.
Is there any final thought you would like to leave listeners with today?
Um, I just want to say thank you for the people who's been listening all the way to here. I know it's hard to focus on stuff. So if you're here still, you have been taking a lot of your time to listen to what I have to say. And I want you to take in what I've been saying and hopefully like inspire you in some way, but also think that this is my words and maybe you need to rewrite to make it your version.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for sitting
Mhm.
down with me and talking about this. I am genuinely grateful for your honesty and your voice and honored to showcase your documentary as well as your music. And to everyone listening, if this episode resonated with you, I want you to sit down and think about the last time a song made you feel seen or like it was an arrow straight to your soul. Hold on to that because that connection, that moment, that's what this is all about. I'm going to leave you at that. Until next time, this is Lioness Ink Insight.
Thank you, Angelia. I really would like to say that as well in the pod. Like before you stop the recording, you don't have to take it
Yeah.
in, but thank you, Angelia, for giving me and other artists the space to talk raw and to to unfilter ourselves and make people see us in this way as well and hear us.
Yeah, my goal is to bring as much
Mm.
humility back into the world as possible. A lot of people
Mhm.
tell me all the time, "You're not going to change the world." If I've changed one person, I've changed the
Yeah,
world. That one person,
exactly.
their small footprint has such a
Hmm.
huge domino effect that nobody realizes. So, if I've changed even one person, if I've affected their life in a positive way, I've done my job.
That's so true and beautiful. Oh,
All right.
yeah.
Well, I will, that's it for today. I will
Hmm.
see you, speak with you again soon, and I can't wait to watch the documentary myself.
Oi, I'm happy. Yeah. Thank you so much. And yeah, it was so nice chatting with you.
You as well.
I don't need much, I just need time, time to sit down.
That's all for today. Thank you again for stepping into the den with me. And listeners, don't forget, I want to hear from you. So drop a comment or hit my DMs with conversation topics you want to hear or even be a part of. Your voice is valuable too. Let's work together to bring humanity into conversations and talk about what it means to build something honest in a tough world. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the many conversations I can't wait to have with you. You can subscribe for free or support the show even further with a paid subscription that gives you immediate access to exclusive content and special extras. As always, whether you've already clawed your way out of the darkness in your life or are still trapped inside, I'm here. Through Lioness Ink Insight, I'll sit with you and paint a star of light in it to keep you company. You're not alone anymore. You're a member of my pride now, and I'll be the loud, fierce centennial holding a quiet space of healing for you, an escape from the darkness as you find your way to the light. Thank you for tuning in and joining me in the pridelands of Lioness Ink Insight. Until next time, stay real, stay weird, stay fierce.